All right. With week 4 in the books, it's time to have another episode. This will be episode 7. We'll move on. We're just going to highlight a couple games on the week 4 recap rather than doing the whole recap this time. So, and I chose, looks like 6 games to go over. Let's see here. The first one is going to be the Lions versus the Packers. I know this one hurts you a little bit.
I was shocked. I was really shocked. I totally thought the Packers were going to come out. They played better in the second half. I don't know if that was just the Lions kind of playing more soft or what the deal was there, but the
The,
Lions just outmuscled them. I mean, they just worked them.
the one thing I got to say is that pass to Jaden.
Oh, I know.
Clock expires and we just letting that play on.
They can't do anything about it. There's no review for it.
Dude, I saw they completed that. I was like, am I about to sweat this? And I mean,
I
it got sweaty at
legitimately
the end.
I legitimately thought they were about to come back. Like
Yeah.
I really did. If Quay Walker isn't a moron and gets that personal foul on that penalty or on that field goal, they're down 2 scores, they're getting the ball back. Like they've got a legit chance.
Yeah, I don't even know why you're jumping that.
I I get wanting to make the block, but like be smart here. Like it's not like it's do or die. Like you still have a chance.
Two things. One, how often does that happen?
Hardly ever.
Two, you're a linebacker.
I know, dude.
But he's athletic. I was like,
He's a big boy.
now the rule is you can't jump at all, or you can't touch him.
You can't jump over a person. You have to jump the gap.
Okay.
So if you jump over a person, it's a penalty for safety rules.
I was going to say, I don't even think he touched him when he leaped over.
I don't think he did either, but I think it's because he jumped directly over a person instead of over the gap.
Well, the reason I want to talk about this game is I know I had them to win the Lions to win the division this year, but do you think the Lions are the real deal this year? I'm starting to be a believer.
They might be the 4th best team in the NFC right now, and they're actually I would say they're kind of with the that group of I wouldn't say they're the Niners level or the Eagles level, but they're on the Cowboys level, I feel like.
I could agree with that. Goff is playing great. He comes out first series, throws an interception, and just absolutely does not get rattled by it at all.
Yeah, I was impressed.
And that was huge for them.
Very impressed.
Dan Campbell, do you think he is a front runner for Coach of the Year this year?
I don't think he's the favorite. No, I still think McDaniel's the front runner.
That's fair. I mean, it does help putting up 70 in an NFL game.
It does, and he's making Tua look like an MVP, so that helps too.
But I have my prediction was Dan Campbell Coach of the Year. You know, I had to slip some money onto that one.
I get it.
I was all in on this team.
Me. You were. I respect it. I respect it.
Last question is how far do you think the Lions can go this year?
I would cap it at the NFC title game right now, depending on home field or what, but that's where I would cap it.
Dang, I did not expect you to say that.
Yeah, I would cap it there.
I was going to be like divisional game. Because I still think
it depends on the matchup. Like if they're going to San Francisco, they're not going to beat San Francisco on the road.
I don't think
they're going to beat Philly either, but they could beat Dallas.
I think Dallas is that's a team that's ahead of them that they can give the run for their money, but I still think Dallas would win that game.
They probably would, but again, it just depends on where they're at. It all depends on the matchup.
Okay, moving on to the absolute second game I want to talk about. Ended up being a thriller, was the Broncos defeating the Bears 31-28. I don't know if I would actually classify as a thriller, but like coming back from 24-point deficit I'll deem it as a thriller.
Understandable. About this game, I can't say I watched too much. I saw some highlights from Justin Fields. Promising, but again, played the worst pass defense in the league. So
here's what I gotta say: is welcome Bears to my pain when Eberflus was a defensive coordinator for the Colts,
giving up leads.
I mean that's exactly what he did, especially against the Ravens. Plays that awful ass sagging Cover two zone defense just lets them pick them apart, work it down the field. Then the offense can't get anything going. The turnover is made, and then here we are. We're losing the ball game off a field goal.
All
Oh,
NFL teams do it, dude. I don't get it.
I
I
mean,
don't get it.
I've said it time and time again. People would hate to play me if I was an NFL coach. I'd be dropping 80. If I was McDaniels, I'm putting 80 on the board
I
every
agree.
week.
You need to be aggressive.
This isn't rec league where you have to go out there and be like, okay, don't hurt their feelings, guys. No, you're getting
I
paid
get
millions. Go out there and pummel them.
I get wanting to be like a good sport about it. I mean, but you saw what the Dolphins did. Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Nobody cared that they dropped 70.
I think the only thing
It's
I
just
heard
the way the
was
game
he
is.
decided not to kick the field goal.
Yeah, that's it. Just to break the NFL record in points. Big whoop.
But Eberflus, that game's on him. I think Fields, other than going complacent in the fourth quarter, this game was on Eberflus. How do you not kick that field goal at the end?
I, dude, I don't know. I
What's
saw
going
that and
through your mind?
fucking wild.
It's baffling. Like you go up 3, that makes them have to score a touchdown. But no, you go for it, don't get now field goal wins the game. I mean, like what? Analytics. Don't get me started on
Stupid.
that.
It's stupid.
Moving on, next game. Chargers defeat the Raiders 24-17. What should have been a
Staley Bowl.
what
The
should
bad coach bowl.
yes, absolutely. I mean, literally my notes was battle for who gets fired first. But this game should have been a blowout. I mean, they were killing them, Slaughterfest, and then
What
they
was
just
it? 17-0, 24-0, something
20.
stupid.
I mean, I think it was 24-7. They gave up 10 points to
24-7.
make it a close game.
Trust me, I know I had money on the Chargers. I was watching.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it later. It's one of the topics, but my big point of this was I'm sick and tired of analytics ruining this game.
I
I will never be behind the analytics. I mean, my
I
point.
don't think the analytics are a bad thing because it's made teams more efficient on offense. Like passing the ball is way better than running the ball in most situations.
Okay, you're up 7 on your own 40 late in the game against a backup quarterback.
Dude, Aiden O'Connell looked better than Jimmy G.
Not gonna lie,
I'm not gonna lie.
he played efficient.
Back to the Justin Fields thing. I don't understand why they didn't kick the field goal, but I'm still proud of my man Fields. Buckeyes, great game. We love it.
But like I was
All
saying,
right.
you go for it when your defense has finally played decent, and then it results in a turnover on downs. I mean, you're up. It's like under 3, I think it was, and you're on your own 40.
Yeah, but did you see the second time they went for it?
What are you gonna talk about? Is it
The Herbert bomb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. The Herbert
dime,
bomb.
absolute dime.
A legitimate nuke on
But
that streak route to Palmer.
I mean, Staley's got to go, and then you have your corner making absolute pick, jump the route, pick it off. That's pick 6 city, and he's telling him to get down. He's putting him down at his own like 10-yard line.
I don't think it's pick 6 city.
It's gonna
I
be
think
close.
he probably only the way the sideline was angled, he's probably only getting like 15 more yards. So I get it. Like I understand what their reasoning behind it was.
I think it's
I probably would have kept running and just try to waste as much time as I can.
just run, and if you're about to get hit,
Yeah,
then
but
slide.
yeah, then slide. But I get it. I mean, the ball carrier, dude. Every coach tells their defensive guy to go down because they don't want them to fumble. They're not used to carrying the ball.
My thing was is what I was talking to you about it during the game. I was like, now it's 3rd down and 10, and now your punter's about to punt from his own end zone.
Like I said, I get it. You're not wrong. I just understand the thought process behind it because that's what most coaches would do.
That's fair. We'll move on to the Chiefs defeating the Jets 23-20. Biggest point was Zach Wilson actually looked like a starting quarterback that game. My biggest thing was, is this a promising sign moving forward for the Jets, or should we be more concerned with the Chiefs this year?
I think it's just a primetime game where it's just weird, dude. There's been a lot of weird primetime games this year.
Yeah, primetime has been weird for like the past
It
couple years.
yeah, it's just people aren't. There's too much going on for it right now.
We got the Swifties. We got Taylor Swift in the building.
Yeah, it's just I think there was I think it was a primetime game that was just a bit weird. I think the Chiefs at one point were up 17-0. It looked like Zach Wilson was dead to rights. Defense makes a couple plays and we act like Zach Wilson, which he ended up technically having a statistical big game better than Mahomes. Everyone said it's the first time since high school Mahomes has had a worse game than his opposing quarterback. I mean,
Some of those
again, he's already.
passes, I don't know if he's fucking around or if he's being legit with those passes, but
I think he's just testing his waters to see what his players can do. Honestly,
I mean
I
that
think he.
that floating ball to Noah Gray, just not even close.
Yeah, I think he's testing to see what he can get away with. He knew they weren't gonna. He knew they weren't gonna lose.
I am
He knew if the Jets went down and scored, he would have gone right back and ended the game with a field goal if he needed to.
I am
That's
a
just who Mahomes is.
little concerned with the Chiefs.
I'm not concerned. They have the best player in the NFL, and until he's dethroned, I'm just riding
I'm
with
not
it.
worried about Mahomes. I'm just worried about the people around him.
I get it, but it's the Brady effect, dude. It's the Mahomes effect. He makes players legit.
It's fair. And if you can throw it to Travis Kelce and Noah Gray, I mean, no one. Rashee Rice has had a pretty good game for being who he is. I think he's gonna step up and take that number one wide receiver. Number two, Marquez will be number one, but you
Yeah,
won't see Sky Moore or what's his face, Tony.
Tony,
Yeah, you won't see them
Darius
very
Tony.
much. That's about it. I hate the Swifties. Next game is gonna
Hate the
be
Swifties.
yes, absolutely despise them. Eagles defeating the Commanders 34-31 in overtime. Uh, should we be worried about the Eagles, or is this just a
Yes.
classic win is a win?
A win is a win here. It was impressive. We needed to see a big game from Hurts.
Yeah, he's
He hadn't been
back.
playing. He hadn't been playing well. I wouldn't say back. It's not like the Commanders have an all-time defense, but I'm a little worried. Their defense doesn't look as solid. Jalen Carter's a stud. Their offensive line is a lit. I mean, it's still been good. Like they've been pushing around some inferior opponents, but like it's not like it's the best offensive line in football right now. I don't know if I'd say that, but there's just a couple things where it's like it doesn't look as
It-
in sync as it did last year.
It's
Like
like
last year, it was the most natural thing.
it's like they have a
They were in
hangover, but they
unison.
didn't win
Yeah,
the
it's
Super Bowl.
well, that's the thing is they always say the team who loses the Super Bowl has the hangover. Like it's very rare for a team who wins or loses the Super Bowl to get back. Like it's only happened a few times
Well, they better
in
wake up
NFL history.
because good thing you're playing these weaker opponents early and get that out of the way because I'm sorry if you're the Eagles 34-31, I'm not happy. But I mean, I'm going to give my flowers to Sam Howell.
He
Completely
played he,
he's
he
impressed
played
me.
well. He played well. I'll
A
give him a little credit too. He played well.
lot of
Again,
controversy on the not going for 2-point conversion at the end to win the game if you're the Commanders on the road underdog.
his name's Riverboat Ron.
And
Go for it.
he says
Go
his
for it.
players were gassed.
Go. It's 2 yards. Do you think the fucking Eagles are gassed?
Yeah, both teams were
That's
gassed.
what I mean. Go for it. You're telling me you can't run a rollout? All Sam Howell does is scramble, rollout, out route.
It's fair.
Run the Tyreek play.
And last game of the recap is the Cowboys defeating the Patriots 38-3.
Not much to say here. Mac Jones.
Yep, that's
he's
what
done.
Mac Jones gets benched. Bill says it's not due to play, but because it was a blowout, it's bullshit. That guy stinks. And then Mac Jones, he stunk. He's always gonna stink, and that's plain and simple.
I agree.
I've never been a fan of Mac Jones.
I'm not a fan. I was impressed with him at certain times, but at this moment, he's just not that guy.
No, not at all.
He needs the weapons around him, and they just don't have them. If he was in the Shanahan system, he might be good. Like he might be what Brock Purdy is, but he is in fact in just an awful, awful situation.
But we'll move on to the next topic of play. I'm sorry to bring it up, but the Buccaneers did defeat your New Orleans Saints 26-9. Um, Derek Carr, I didn't even think he was going to play. Ended up coming out there. Probably shouldn't have played. 23 of 37, 127, no touchdowns on the board for Derek Carr.
Did you hear that?
What?
Just repeat that stat one more time.
23 of 37, 127 yards.
He averaged 3.4 yards per pass attempt.
Kamara, 24 touches for 84 yards.
Do you see how many catches he had?
Yeah, it was like 13 or 11 or something like that.
I don't know why they played him, because it's clear his shoulder was not healthy. If he is sitting there and getting
dumping it that much,
if he's averaging 3.4 yards per catch or per attempt, it's clear he's not healthy. That has to be one of the lowest ADOTs in NFL, the game in this season so far by far.
I want to give Mayfield some absolute credit.
He played well. He
has turned his career around.
Okay.
No, I mean, dude, he's 25 of 32, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. We were proclaiming the Saints to be like a top defense, and he goes out there and does that. I mean, we got to give him his flowers.
Let's not say he's turning his career around. He had a good game. He started pretty well this season. He just came off of a Monday night game where he looked completely lost against what we just talked about as not a great Philly defense right now.
Hey, I'm just saying. I think I'm back in my Mayfield bandwagon. You remember?
I know. You're a Mayfield guy. Don't get me wrong.
It's something about those Oklahoma boys.
Don't get me wrong. He's played fine. Again, he's played fine. We're going to ride with that. I would not say he's back.
So,
he's not turned his career around. I think he's an average NFL quarterback who's playing with a lot of talent on the offensive side of the field.
Before we switch to your next opponent coming up, are you done with Carr? You regret the signing?
No, we're still 2-2. We still have a very strong chance to win the division because Desmond Ridder is awful. I mean, it's us, Buccaneers, and Falcons all pretty much fighting for it. I don't know what's going to happen. I still trust our defense, but what worries me the most is Dennis Allen is a bad game manager, and our offensive coordinator is just awful. He's just bad.
Yeah, I told you this today. I just don't think they know what a touchdown is.
They don't.
It's sad because they have the weapons to put up points.
We've invested so much in the offensive line too. We've spent in the last 3 or 4 years, I think, we've wasted 2 first-round picks on defensive linemen. One is a third string. The other is already off the team. I think he's on the Vikings now, Davenport. And then we've got first-round guard Andrus Peat, doesn't even play. He's a backup now. Cesar Ruiz, okay, decent right guard. I like him. Eric McCoy's probably been our best offensive lineman this year. I like him at center. Right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, just getting older. Solid all-pro, former all-pro. And then Trevor Penning, our first-round tackle that we took the last dude I wanted to take when we had our 2 first-round picks with him and Olave, and he's just so raw. He's just not it.
Okay.
It's frustrating.
Oh, been there.
It's so frustrating.
Just go back to last year. I've been there.
I know. It's very frustrating.
But hey, chance to bounce back. You do get to play what seems to be the injured and quarterbackless Patriots.
That's what they're missing Judon. They're missing Gonzalez.
Zapp's probably gonna be the quarterback.
This could be good this could be a good bounce back. If we win this, if we score 20 points, I'll be excited.
I mean, we're gonna have to at least put up 20 points, I think.
Yeah, if we score 20 points, I'll be excited. If we don't, I'll be pretty disappointed.
When are the Patriots just gonna invest in some talent?
They've tried, dude. They've spent so much money.
Dude, I'm watching Kendrick Bourne out there.
They spent money on him.
No, Smith, I was to say they spend money on tight ends.
Devontae Parker.
And not athletic tight ends either.
They wasted 2 third-round draft picks 3 years ago on 2 tight ends who aren't even on the team anymore.
I mean, when do you look at that team and you're just like, Kendrick Bourne, old Ezekiel Elliott, Ramondre Stevenson, and a whole bunch of unappealing tight ends.
Not good. They are.
Does
They're.
Bill want to be fired? Is that what it is?
I think I don't know how you fire him. I think they really want him to break the wins record. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
But yeah, I mean we'll get to it at the very end, but I like the Saints this week. Just because of all the injuries.
I've been on them every week, and I don't know if I like them this week.
You want me to bet on them. The 2 times I bet on them, they win.
All right, we'll ride with it then.
Yeah, we're riding with it. But I think this will be as long as Carr is healthy and he does not turn the ball over, I think you guys should be able to win this game.
I hope he's healthy.
Just note,
We can't look much worse.
I think they're losing their two best defensive players so thus far.
That does help.
So, and then Mac Jones is abysmal. We already talked about it. So I like the Saints this week. But we'll move to the Colts. Rams sadly defeated the Colts 29-23 in overtime. What a thriller. I mean,
Anthony Richardson, so much fun to watch.
Him. Now
dude.
Have you looked at the stats of that game?
Not great.
Did you watch
I know
the
they're
game?
Not great. I did, and I know.
Would you have guessed he went 11 of 25? No
after
shot.
The first half, yes. The first half was ugly.
I looked at the box score, saw 11 of 25, and thought they just hadn't updated in a while. I was
that first half was gross.
But yeah, 11 of 25, 200 yards, 2 tutties, passing. But he ran for 56 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he is electric.
He's had a touchdown at every game he started so far. So
we're at 23-0. I'm sitting there, and Bob goes, "Well, this is over." I said, "Are you serious right now?" I said, "It's only 23-0. I mean, I've seen comebacks." He goes, "But not rookie quarterbacks." I said, "Do I need to remind you of Andrew Luck rookie year? He had like 8 comeback wins that year."
Behind, yeah. I like Steichen. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's the only thing that bugs me just watching their games, there's nothing more than that man loves than making the other coach waste a timeout.
Oh, I know. It's so frustrating.
It's so annoying. Because he's sitting there, he's wasting his own timeouts because he runs a fake punt situation.
I mean, this guy's got too big of a mega brain to be.
It's eventually gonna hurt somebody because they're not gonna call a timeout and he's actually gonna run the trick play.
No, it hurt us. We went out there.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying like the other team, like they're gonna actually run a play and it's gonna bust somebody, and then after that, it's never gonna work again.
Well, we've seen it twice. That it's not really worked to our favor. Once was with Harbaugh. He just outsmarted him. You're going to sub in? Fine. You have to let us sub, so here comes a delay game.
Here comes a delay game.
And then, literally, they try to draw him off sides. Michael Pittman jumps. 5-yard penalty. We missed the field goal.
Yeah.
But one more thing about that game, I think, I got a couple more things. I just think one more thing about Richardson, he continues to make progress week in and week out. And his arm talent is insane. Tight ends did shine.
Did you see some of the throws he was making?
Yes.
That one where he throws the seam route, I think it's to
Pierce.
Is it to Pierce across the middle or is that like the 40-yard line? Was that
Josh
Downs?
Downs.
Yeah,
yep.
That play, dude, that throw, that's insane.
I mean, I was lasered.
A legit rocket.
And then the one to Pierce, he's getting tackled, and it doesn't even look like he's getting tackled. It would just look like he's way too strong.
He's fun. I'm really excited to see what he does.
But the tight ends definitely shined.
They've got some talent. They're still a wide receiver away. I'm not like an Alec Pierce backer right now. But they've got talent. Yeah, they've got talent. They've got some players to work with. I'm kind of excited to see what they do.
I mean, I haven't seen it because tomorrow's when they report back to practice. But Jelani Woods should be off of IR, which will be kind of exciting to watch.
That'll be massive.
JT is supposedly returning to practice. Whether that's good or not for the team, I have no idea. If he's not going to
Can't
sit
be
there
bad
and
getting back a
be,
good player.
if he's not going to be there and be all in and actually play and be a good teammate, be a leader, trade his ass.
Yeah, that at that point I'd get him out too.
I'd trade for Jerry Judy. Both
I
players
just
once
don't.
saved. Here you go.
I don't see them taking that trade. The Broncos.
Probably not. But yeah, and we'll move on to the week who we play this week, and it's the
Titans.
Titans. Colts are
Tennessee at
favored.
home, 1 o'clock. We'll
42
be
and a
in
half.
attendance.
Seems a little high.
We'll be in attendance.
Yes, we will. It seems a little high, 42 and a half.
I'm shocked that the Titans opened the game up as 1-point favorites, but now it's back down to Colts -1.5.
Yeah, I
So
don't think the Titans. I think they're bad. I don't care that they
I
beat the
think
Bengals. I think they're horrendous.
I think they were thinking that they own the Colts, but this is it's a new Colts regime under.
Everyone's bought in.
Yeah, it's just in not having Reich anymore. Like it's a different feel. I'll give them a little credit.
To go back onto the Rams game, I forgot to make this point. Overtime. You need stops. They're kind of running it down your flipping throat. Where is Buckner?
I I don't know.
I mean, I see him, helmet on, hands up in his shoulder pads, just chilling there. I'm like, that's
He
our
didn't
run
have a
stopper.
he didn't have a great game.
He didn't practice all week, but then Leonard isn't in that whole drive either. He's sitting at the
I
50-yard line.
I've been out on Leonard. You know that though.
It's just frustrating. And then I was waiting for Steichen comes in on the post game and comes out and says they go in. All I have to report for injuries wise, and it was none of them. Neither of those two were on the injury report.
Must have
No,
just been the packages. I don't know.
that was frustrating. But yeah,
It is.
I think the Colts are gonna come back, bounce back, beat the Titans, finally beat the flipping Titans. Hate those
Uh,
guys.
all I gotta say about that division is the Jaguars
They
may
might be the
not be
third
it.
best team.
The Texans might be the best.
Yeah, they're kind of impressive.
I mean, D'Amico is a badass coach right now. I mean, that dude is cooking.
We were all in
Their
on
defense
Stroud.
is we both were. That was our number one. We love that. I was worried about their weapons, but Nico is looking great.
Tank Dell.
Tank's looking solid. Looking like an
Schultz
okay
finally
number
had a
two.
good game.
Solid. Again, a nice little security blanket. Their offensive line is super banged up, and he's still dealing like this. Like, imagine what they do when they
They just
have a
lost
real
another one
offensive
too.
line. I know, but imagine what they do when they have a real offensive line with the legit running back and Pierce behind them.
It's too bad that they
Texans
traded
might
their
be.
pick.
I mean, they can still. I mean, it's not hard to find linemen in the second round. It happens
No,
all the time.
we live on it.
Yeah, I mean, like they have a legit chance to be the best team in the AFC South next year for sure. Stroud looks like that guy.
But I mean, I was sitting there before the 1 o'clock games. And I was like, why do I like the Texans? Why? And I was
I
like,
bought into the Steelers.
we
I'm
both
so
did.
mad at myself.
And they're just trash.
Dog dookie, dude. Just awful.
And you're about to see when we go to the players of the week. And you're gonna see. I'm about to expose them. But
They were bad.
moving on, we'll get away from the Colts. They're gonna win. I mean, just hammer it. Put the mortgage down.
I love it.
Move on to
I love it.
a little rant that I just get. I already started it earlier when we were talking about the recap. It's analytics. I hate analytics. It's ruined it. Because it's good to have, it's good to know, but when it hides your common sense, that's when it gets bad.
You just can't outsmart the game. Like I get it. There's certain areas where it's not necessary, but I think it still has value.
I mean, there's teams in field goal range and it's 4th and 5. We're not kicking the field goal. We're going for it. It's 4th and 5.
There's certain areas where you need to take the points. I get where it's like, oh, we have a 58% chance to win compared to a 42% chance to win. Have faith in your defense.
Right.
Like, have faith in your team. Like, they're your team for a reason. I know you want to control your destiny, but it's not like your defensive coordinator isn't doing something like that either. They're a part of the team.
And the king of analytics is Staley. You'd think he'd have confidence. He's a defensive guy.
Dude, he's so confused on analytics now because we made so much fun of him the first year. He contradicts himself every other game. One day he'll go for it, the next week he doesn't. Exact same situation.
I just think it's common sense, game knowledge, and just the feel of how the game's going is what should matter the most. But
Stupid.
that's, I mean, it just feels like analytics is like playing Madden. You're like, oh, let's
I
just go
know.
for it.
Why not?
Oh, Ask Madden says should run it here.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll move on to a controversial topic that's been been floating around for the whole season thus far, and that's the Tush push, also known as
Tush
the
push.
brotherly shove.
I gotta say, I don't like this play, even though Jalen Hurts is my quarterback in three fantasy leagues.
Well, we're about to contradict each other.
It's annoying. Like, I'm tired of just seeing. He doesn't even need people though. Like, it's different.
See, it's not even the Tush push at that point. It's just a quarterback sneak.
It is. It's just him. He's just sneaking, which is completely fine. But when you've got people like Daniel Jones, did you see that both of the up backs?
It's getting ready to be
I mean,
talked about.
they both got hurt. Like, it's not like I'm against it for a safety reason. It's just a dumb play.
The controversial thing
it
was
only works when you have an elite running quarterback who's a unit like Jalen Hurts. Anthony Richardson would be awesome in it.
the thing that's got really hyped up about you. If you saw Richard Sherman, he was talking about how overpowered it is. I don't think it's
overpowered.
I don't think it's
because they have the
overpowered.
best line. Yeah,
I think the Eagles are just effective at doing it.
They have They have the strongest quarterback. They've got
the toughest center.
They may not be the best offensive line right now, but they are probably the biggest. I mean, Mayada at left tackle is a literal mammoth. He's like 6'9", 360. You got the best center in the league. You've got a great guard. You got a great right tackle. I mean, they're just a good team.
The thing is, what I was saying is, you can't call it overpowered if not everybody can do it.
Exactly. Like, it's
the Chargers.
They're built for it.
They didn't get it.
Again, Herbert, skinny frame. He's not a thick dude who can move a pile.
Teams are still electing to use their running back on 4th and 1 instead of the tush push, so it can't be that overpowered or everybody would be doing it. Colts have an alien at quarterback with the old Eagles offensive coordinator as their head coach, and they don't do it.
I think they might eventually. I just don't think they want him to get hurt yet.
Mac Jones epically failed at it.
That's Mac Jones for you.
And then, like you just said, Daniel Jones failed at it as well, and 2 players got hurt. Their tight end and their center.
Fucking exactly, dude.
And then you also made up one of my arguing points is Hurts is just a freak.
He is.
He squats 600 pounds.
That dude's awesome.
Point me to another quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. I don't even know if the AR can squat 600 pounds.
He probably can't. That's Nick Chubb kind of stuff.
But if you want, but my thing is my last argument was, if you want to abolish the tush push and get rid of it, then you have to abolish pushing in general. Because I hate seeing when the running back gets stopped, forward progress, and here comes the lineman, and they're pushing them 10 yards. I'm like, how is this fair?
I think it's just the way the play is designed.
That poor linebacker that just stood him up is now getting trampled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, there's got to be a way to stop it. I mean, they're the only team that can't get stopped doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone's point was, don't let them get to 3rd and 1.
Exactly.
And then, so real last quick thing is, we're at the Colts game and there's a guy standing in front of me. It's 1st and 5 on like the 6 or 5 yard line, and he's screaming, 4 straight tush pushes.
They're probably gonna fucking score.
And he's like, if this was the Eagles, that's what they would do. I'm like,
exactly.
I don't know if that's exactly what they would do, but I mean, Jalen Hurts would be running the football.
That he would.
It's the only thing screwing me with DeAndre Swift as my running back in fantasy. But we'll move on to the players of the week. At quarterback, we had Josh Allen.
I'm pumped. I love the Bills.
320 yards, 5 total touchdowns. Answers the call against the Dolphins. Everyone was talking about how great this Dolphins team was. Even their defense was starting to progress into being one of the better defenses in the league, and he just does what Josh Allen should be doing.
We love it.
Christian McCaffrey at running back. 106 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns while rushing the ball, 7 catches, 71 yards, and a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, nothing more to discuss.
At wide receiver 1, A.J. Brown, he's back.
I love it.
9 receptions, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Great stack with him and Hurts.
Stephon Diggs was at wide receiver 2.
Hell yeah, baby, my other wide receiver.
6 receptions, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 stone cold celebration.
I can't believe he got flagged for that.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. Like, he could have been so much more. Like, it's not like it was that big of a fucking play. Like, I mean, I'm not that it wasn't a big play, but that big of a celebration. Like, if you're gonna give it to him, like, make it sure he's doing something like really like a dick.
I mean, I kind of think that's a good penalty to be thrown right there.
Really?
Yes. He's grabbed
I
2
disagree.
beers and just smashed them together. I mean, I wouldn't mind it not being, but if some things, I mean, Amon-Ra's humping,
he just laid
that
the
should
ball
be.
down.
But Cole Kmet will be our tight end. 7 receptions, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 blown 24-point lead. Did you laugh at Cole Kmet?
I said Justin Fields, baby.
I thought you laughed. I was like, he's statistically
No.
the best tight end. And then the O-line, the Houston Texans.
Great game.
Never would I have thought I would be putting this team down for this spot. Against a great defense like Watt and Highsmith, and they didn't allow 1 sack.
Awesome.
But we'll move to the defensive side. Chargers was my D-line. They had 7 sacks from the front 4. 6 of them were Khalil Mack.
Insane.
The Chargers also have been notoriously bad at run stopping, and then they held Jacobs to 58 yards. Linebacker number 1, Nicholas Morrow, 10 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Linebacker number 2, Bobby Wags.
I was going to say, please make sure it's Bobby Wags.
17 tackles and then 2 sacks. Poor Daniel Jones. Poor Daniel Jones. Cornerback number 1, Devon Witherspoon, your guy. 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. And then,
dude, do you see he's all the way up to plus 175 now for Defensive Rookie of the Year? He jumped from like plus 1,800
that was your
to
guy.
plus 175. I know. I just had him in a parlay that's combined with Chubb to win Offensive Player of the Year, so it doesn't even matter.
And then the guy reoccurring again is Deron Bland for the Cowboys. 4 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. And then at safety, Harrison Smith, 14 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Pretty insane statistics for the defensive sides or for the players of the week.
Yup.
But we'll move on to the week 5. We got 2 segments within the week 5. We'll start with the game of the week. Game of the week is going to be the Cowboys versus the 49ers. Can Dak Prescott finally win?
No.
I don't think so either.
I'm taking the 49ers in this game.
Yep, 49ers are 3.5-point favorites with a 45 over under. Could see this one not getting there. Actually, I could because the Cowboys don't stop the run.
And the Niners can just score at will. I mean, that offense is kind of just clicking at all aspects right now.
I saw this. I was watching Pat McAfee, and he says Brock Purdy has less interception or less incompletions than he does shits per day. It's like, I mean, it's not wrong.
I love it.
He's accurate as hell. But
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, both think the 49ers are going to win. I don't think it's going to be a bloodbath by any means. I think it'll be pretty close, within a touchdown probably. I think that's close.
I see it being 10 points or less.
You're about to see what Dak Prescott's going to be like this year based off this game.
Ass.
Move on to players to watch. My first one was Jonathan Taylor, just hoping to see him back out there. But if I don't, I'm happy because I can start Zach Moss in fantasy. But yeah,
I'm really interested to see what happens.
I don't know if he's gonna play. They never said that. Just said he's coming to practice.
Did he come back today, or did they start tomorrow?
Tomorrow. And
Is that when
then,
he gets off the pup list?
yeah, I'm just excited to see if he does play what him and Richardson can do together.
I assume if he plays, he'll be on a snap count that these first couple weeks, right?
Most likely. They say he looks good, like doing his drills and stuff, but that's
We'll have to
about,
see.
yeah. Moving on to your guy, Dak Prescott.
That's what we were talking about. Can he do it? Can he live up to the moment? He's never done it. He's got one playoff win, I think, in what he's been in the league since 2016, and it was against a God, who did they beat last year in the playoffs? They were awful. I don't remember. Do you remember who they beat?
The Buccaneers.
Yeah, the fucking Buccaneers with Tom Brady, 45 years old, slinging the ball 50 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, they
He
should have
still
won
hasn't
that
done it.
game.
They should have. He still hasn't done it, and we're gonna have to see. Can he step up against this Niners team who's just beaten him consistently over the years? I don't think he's going to, but I'm excited to see what happens, especially on Sunday Night Football.
We'll move on to the third guy, Zach Wilson. Only reason I had him is on your is because he had
I can't stand this dude. I'm so over the Zach Wilson news. I'm so over it.
he had a really good week against a good defense. I just want to see if he can do it again. They need him to do it again. It's a must-win game. There's speculation that Rodgers is coming back. I don't think he's coming back. What? There is.
I know. Can we stop talking about the Jets? They're 1-3. They're gonna be probably 1-4.
They're gonna win this week.
I don't think they are. I think Zach Wilson had one good game, and everyone's sucking this dude's dick, including Kelsey's mom, apparently. Just kidding.
Shout out Mama
Just
Kels.
kidding.
Shout out Donna.
People trolling. But I'm over this Zach Wilson shit. Like, I'm so over the Jets.
I mean, that's fair. The only reason I threw him up there is I didn't like the slates. There's not really that many good games, and he's coming off a good performance. He has to do it again, or if not, he's really not going to be playing.
I can't stand it.
We'll move on to your last guy, Burrow. Hopefully, finally, we get to see Joe Burrow back, but
I'm really worried. It was between them and the Niners all summer for the Super Bowl pick, and I picked wrong. I need to see them come back. I
when
need to see them look good.
when can we stop using the excuse of they start slow?
I don't think we can. I think that excuse is over.
It's over.
I mean they are. This is week 4 last year. This is when they started to pick it up. I think if they look this bad again, it's just them. Like, I think they might just be out of funk or in a funk.
Hmm.
I think this is it. I think this is the week.
All right. Well, that's the players to watch and the game of the week going into week 5. Well, moving on to the full schedule here. We're going to run through this pretty fast. We're getting up there in time. So, real quick, throw this up there. We got the Bears versus the Commanders.
Commanders, in my opinion.
I agree.
Wait, did you check our records?
Yep, I
assume
have.
not.
I have
Hey,
all of them
what's our through week 3 record?
through week 4.
Week 4. Yeah,
We are
sorry.
40-24.
Oh my God, straight up.
Yep.
I love that.
And then last
we had probably
week,
a pretty bad week last week.
12-4.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. It was.
We're at a 63% straight up hit. That's not bad.
No, I mean I'll take that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll need to start doing the spread later on in the season, depending on how well we keep the straight ups going.
Hey, I'm down. Bills, Jags. I think we're both gonna say the same team.
The
Bills,
only thing that worries me is the traveling to London aspect.
Yep. I mean, are the Jaguars? Should they just relocate?
People, they've talked about it. I can't see it happening just because it would be it'd be such an unfair advantage for the rest side of Jacksonville staying over there. When people have to travel to London, it's a 6-hour time difference.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't see it happening for a full season.
Yeah.
I think at some point there's going to be a game abroad every single week. Maybe except week 1, but I don't see anybody being fully abroad, especially in Europe.
You're making me want to pick the Jaguars.
Yeah, but also staying over there for 2 weeks away from their family, away from their normal routine. Like, they're staying in London.
Oh, they're still there?
Yeah, they're still there. They didn't come back. So it's like, yeah, they're adjusted to the time, but they're also all out of sorts because they're not doing anything on their normal schedules. So I
It's
think
gonna be
I
a weird
prefer the
game.
Bills. Yeah, I'd prefer the Bills, but I think it's gonna be weird. I think it's gonna be weird.
Okay, we'll stick with this. Move on to the hell's going
Who'd you say you were cutting out?
the Giants and the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Not even a
Easy.
question.
Yeah.
Panthers, Lions.
Lions.
Yep. Ravens, Steelers.
Ravens.
Canada.
Especially if Kennedy isn't Kenny isn't playing. Sorry, not Kennedy.
You don't like Mitch?
No.
Saints, Patriots. I told you who I like.
I mean, I'm gonna pick the Saints, but not super confident.
Texans, Falcons. We ride it. We ride it.
Yeah, we're right. Even though it's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we're riding it.
Are the Falcons favored?
Yes, by 1.5.
Yeah, we're riding. We're riding it.
Bengals, Cardinals. This could be a very weird game.
It's gonna be sweaty. It's gonna be sneaky. It's gonna be ratty. I'm taking the Bengals though.
No T. Higgins. You still going Bengals?
Is it official yet? They said he's gonna try to play.
Yeah, nothing official yet.
So I would still wait to see, but I just think the Bengals, if they lose this game, the season's over. They might as well sit Burrow and let him get fully healthy.
Yep, I agree. Colts, Titans.
I'm on the Colts.
I am too.
I'll be in attendance. 2 beers a quarter.
2 beers. Eagles, Rams.
Do not drink and drive. Please drive safe.
Oh my gosh, Eagles, Rams. Cooper Kupp might be back.
It's gonna be a good game. I'm on the Eagles though.
I'm also on the Eagles. Stafford a little banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs,
Good
Vikings.
interior line. Chiefs. I'm not gonna go against Pat.
Jets, Broncos.
I like it's your pod. You choose, but I like the Broncos.
They gotta get a win.
You're on the Jets?
Yeah, I'm on the Jets.
That's fine. It's your pod. I ride with it.
Cowboys, 49ers.
You know where I stand.
Yep, 49ers it is. And Green Bay, Raiders.
I ride with love.
All right, I agree with there too, especially if Garoppolo even doesn't play.
Yep.
So that's about it. We got the Commanders, Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Ravens, Saints, Texans, Bengals, Colts, Eagles, Chiefs, Jets, 49ers, and the Packers.
Who's all on by this week? We've got the Seahawks, the Chargers.
Who else? The Browns.
Yep, and then there's one other team. Buccaneers.
Yep.
That's who it is.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And last thing to do for today is go over the early slate locks. We both agree, Colts, you -1.5, might as well just do the -1.5.
Yeah,
If we lose by a point, shove it.
We each chose our 3 favorite picks for the day. So Colts were one of mine. Decided we both ended up having that.
Yep. Both like the Packers at -1.5.
Yep, that's our next. That was one of my plays.
My personal play was the Texans money line.
I love it. And then my third play was
49ers -3.5.
which I love.
Then
I'm seeing the Ravens, which I like. Waiting on the Pickett news, but that's one thing I might be playing.
And I had the Saints money line.
Again, I like it. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those game time decisions. I should have put him in my bottom category because I did a category at the bottom as a section called LMGBTY. Let me get back to you. And I have two plays in there. It's the Jets money line, and the Cardinals +3.
I love it.
I could see the Cardinals covering.
I could too, but
they played the 49ers kind of tough.
They played everybody tough, dude.
And it's annoying.
I know.
God.
I faded them in every game so far except for the Niners.
Gannon,
14 was too much.
You're not getting fired. It's okay to tank. Gosh. Fucking Josh Dobbs.
I know.
But yeah, that's It's going to do it with the early slate locks and today's episode.
Appreciate you all for listening.
Yep, it was a good one. We'll be back same time, posted probably on Wednesday. So come back next week. We got another one for you.
See you.
Peace.